So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So the Blitz Battle of Demon and Spider is over, and as I indicated beforehand, I was planning to go hard. I didn't really decide how hard. My initial plan was go all out for the first day, like maybe 20 hours or so. Turned out to be a bit less. Just play as much as I can, and then we'll see. Do I have a motivation to keep playing? So basically, it started really well for me. After like 5 hours, I was number one on the global server, top 4 worldwide. It was really cool. But then others started to catch up. I had some good drops in the beginning. It stopped. I must have hit a slump too because my point gain decreased too much to be RNG in my opinion. But then after that, it stabilized, and I ended day 1 like rank 11 in the world, which was pretty dope. But then, as I've said before, I've been sick in my throat. I'm starting to get better, but I'm not healed yet. So I prioritized my well-being, so I got a good night's sleep. Woke up, I was ranked 32 on global, like top 50 worldwide. I started playing, and then I just kept playing. Like, I talk about this a lot, but at some point, playing these events becomes mostly muscle memory, so it's not like a big effort. I was watching YouTube vids, I was taking it easy, browsing the internet, watching some Netflix, the normal stuff. So it didn't really take much effort. Another good thing with this Blitz is that it had some forced downtime. For example, when you kill the stage 4, there's a captain swap. Captain swaps take forever, which is why I'm usually not the biggest fan, especially for like grind content, like treasure map and such. But now this was forced on us, so we had no choice. So that was like 10 seconds. You could not have to do anything. So I really put an effort in to like get a muscle memory for being able to relax those 10 seconds. So just an example, like between stage 3 and 4 was also pretty chill. There's always some downtime, but after you beat a quest and you get the rewards and such. So yeah, it wasn't that draining. So when I did like my 600th run or something, like 650, I was like, okay, I'm not going to get anywhere with the ranking. Top 10 is not going to happen. So I decided, okay, let's do it like this. I'll do 1000 runs with max boost. Then we can compare my rank to the other players and see what kind of effort does it take in the Blitz. And we're also going to take a look at the JP versus global server aspect, which has been very interesting for this particular Blitz. But yeah, I finished 27 on global, so that's top 50, and 15th in the world. That's very dope. This is my highest worldwide rank ever. It's not like worldwide ranking events are super common. It's basically Blitz and PvP. And as you know, PvP is not my big deal, and JP is very superior to global when it comes to PvP. So very happy with that. Sadly, top 50 worldwide doesn't get anything special. It's like rank 11 to 1000 get the same reward, and I think that's very dumb. But it's up to Bandai, they decide. If you look at my alliance, it's called Pig Squad. You see that I did 1000 runs, I did more than half of my alliance's runs, which I don't really doubt them because Blitz is pretty poor. I'd use harsher words, but I don't really like to do that. But yeah, Blitz is really not worth farming past the rewards in general. Like sometimes maybe some specific treasure like top 3k, top 1k, top 500, top 100, something like that. But I definitely say for this Blitz, going harder than top 100 was not worth it for sure. So yeah, this was mostly a personal challenge just to see how I stack up, what can I expect, like can I challenge in the future for a Blitz? And I'll say doubtful. We can talk more about that later. But yes, I don't really blame my alliance. We're like, I just want people who play regularly and don't take long breaks. I don't need the most hardcore players. I might consider joining a hardcore alliance down the line. Not this year, probably. we'll see how my motivation goes. But yeah, for now I'm pretty content. I said it before, but I'm not a fan of the alliance aspect. For me, OPTC is a single player game. So for me, with alliance, I just don't want to get carried. But as said, Blitz is not the best event. It's more for like Super Boss Kizuna and such. I don't want to carry other people too hard. I want them to put an effort in as well. So yeah, let's dive into the rankings a bit. And first I want to compare top 10 a bit between global and worldwide. Because as we see here, on global top 10, it's a lot of Lovetail and AF. We're going to look at the alliance rankings as well. I have some stuff I want to talk about in regards to that. See, a lot of good people. I don't really know all the names when they change it, but I'm pretty sure number 3 there is Blue Whale. Number 1, not sure what his real name is. And then number 2 is someone from AF, Assault Force. They change name all the time, so I'm not really sure. I know one of the top 10 is Among Us, of course. He always goes hard. I've seen this Racer guy a bit on the Pirate Alliance Discord. Very well job done. Like, getting top 10 here is not easy. Like, 4.5 million points. You can see me for 1 million points with for 1,000 runs with max boost. I got 3.65 million points. So that's a lot more runs. And as said, I did get some good night's sleep. But aside from that, I played not super optimal, but pretty damn good. So that means you sacrifice a lot of sleep, which is just the current status with Blitz Battle. If we compare top 10 with JP, we can see that the top 5, 6 worldwide were JP players. And if we take the whole top 10, yeah, 6 JP, and they have the top 6 spots, but the 4 after that are global. So 6 JP for global top 10. This makes it sound like back a while back, like a few years ago, it was like common sense that JP is much more hardcore. They are much better than global, much more dedicated. Global can never challenge JP. But I say that this Blitz shows that that's not really the case. I want to say that the very top of JP, definitely comparable to global top players like Among Us and the gang. Yeah, definitely same level, but I want to mention one inherent advantage that JP has that global doesn't, which is lower load times. This is definitely noticeable. Like, imagine me, for example, doing 1,000 runs. Imagine having 2 or 3 seconds lower load time every single run. That's not something global players can get unless we travel to like Japan or such. So it's definitely favored for JP players, and it's even more obvious in, say, Treasure Map, where there are so many different load times, and on every load time, you gain a second or 2. Like, it's pretty insane. So that's definitely an advantage JP has, which means that if a global and JP player plays exactly as optimal, the JP player will always get more points. It's just how it works. But even then, it's very cool that the global players did as well as they did. And like number 1 on global is just 400,000 points away. Not a bad effort at all. And like in the end, you always take it a bit more easy once you've cemented your position. There's no reason to go all in until the very end if it doesn't gain you anything. What I do want to point out though is that if we look at the top 50, because you see I'm 27th on global, but I'm top 50 in the world, which means that there are more global players in top 50 than JP players. And I say that's very amazing, actually, considering JP server is much bigger and has always been more diehard on global, dominating rankings when we ever had rankings together. But now that difference is like basically erased, except at the very top, due to not only, but partly due to the inherent JP advantages. And if we compare top 100, which I did before, I think JP has 52 players in top 100 and global 48. So it's very even, despite JP being much bigger and being famous for being more diehard in general. So you might ask, why is this the case? What has changed? And I say that there's two big things. First, we have Among Us and crew, who really has gone hard, and it's really, like, some might not respect it, but I very much do, as someone who has grinded hard as well. But the effort they put in is like almost inspiring in a way, and they also push each other, and a lot of that is due to the alliance aspect. Like, look in the world, the top 4 alliances worldwide are global. Number 6 is also global, and then there's a few JP alliances, but also TRA2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 global alliances, top 10, and they have the top 4 spots and number 6. Like, that's a big difference. Like, it shouldn't be like this, considering how even the top 100 is. But I say that this shows that, particularly Assault Force AF, like, they win most events, and they are like a bit smug about it in a fun way. I can get tired of it sometimes, not going to lie, but there's no denying that they are a great team doing a great effort, and it really makes the other people want to bop them, which has happened sometimes. Like, I'm not the kind of person who compares like event to event. I mostly get invested when I play myself, so I take the advantage to talk a bit about it. But I'm sure Lovetail has won sometime. I think they're a French alliance. I think Passiona is an Italian alliance. Then I'm really not all that knowledgeable. I just go in my lane. As for Pig Squad, we've been top 10 once, which was the Kizuna, where I went for rank 1 individual, which was pretty dope. Not worth doing, but it's fun to have different experiences, which also lets me talk about these things because I've been part of it sometime. But yeah, basically, Global cares a lot more about alliances, which is obvious here. And what that means is, say on JP, like, we could see on the personal ranking that they dominated the top. And the thing is that if you don't care about alliances, you aim for top 10 on the JP server, or you aim for top 50 or top 100. But if you aim for top 50, there's no reason to get anywhere close to the points needed for top 10. But if you care mostly about the alliance, that doesn't really matter, because you look at this rank, you try and increase this rank. You don't care that, oh, I can't get top 10 anymore. There's no reason for me to play anymore. I can just aim for top 50. But no, they all push each other really hard to go for this ranking. And yeah, it's really apparent in events like this. So I'd argue that as long as Global cares this much about alliances, the top farmers care this much, and they gang up together, they really trash talk a bit beforehand that this time I'm going to win. That happens a lot in the Pirate Alliance Discord server. Then we'll have results like this when Global really gets better result than it should have, considering JP server is like 5 times, 8 times, 10 times, whatever times as huge. So yeah, I think it's interesting to note out, because I don't feel like these alliances and their members get enough credit. I know many people look at them as like no life, diehards. Like, I get that a lot, and I'm not as diehard as many of these players in ranking events. I like pop off once or twice a year, maybe nowadays. But some of these does it every month, every 2 months, a few times per year. And it's really dope because it takes some effort and some actual skill as well, of course. I will say that in general, Blitz Battle requires less skill than Treasure Map. And this might sound like copium or something, since I did top 50 worldwide, top 77 global. It's not bad, but 1,000 rounds is a lot. But the thing is that in a Blitz, you just need to optimize one single team. Once you got that working, you can just keep going And if you're the kind of human who has the motivation, you can run on little sleep, stuff like that, then it's a lot straightforward. There's not many points of optimization, basically. The main part of Blitz is being able to keep going. But in Treasure Map, there are so many places to optimize. And obviously, the king of optimization on global for Treasure Map is Among Us. I in no way can compete with him. But in Treasure Map, I can compete with a lot of the other players who might outrank me in a Blitz, for example, when we have the same set of circumstances. Which is why I've been able to rank pretty high in Treasure Map, but I've only got like one top 10 in a Blitz, which was against local sea monster. And now this will probably be my best Blitz performance of the coming years. Like, we'll see if they ever do a Blitz in the summer, because that's when I actually got real time. But yeah, I feel like I've talked enough this video now, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening. And tomorrow I'll also do a video about a cool phenomenon this Blitz, so look forward to that. Because if you look here on the personal ranking, let's see if there's still a few up. Most people have changed now, but here, for example, we have one. Oh, there were a lot of Law and Kid captains all of a sudden. So I'm going to talk about the story of the Law and Kid captains. Look forward to that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.